Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of the Generational Wrestling Podcast. As always,
we back.
28-year-old piece of gold, the franchise, aka the showstopper, better known as the GOW's Wrestling Tribal Chief. And with me, as always, I got my tag team partner, my brother, my family. He is the flyest in the room, Mr. 1, 2, 3. Pin that ass down, K Breezy, aka Tuco Kimber in the building. Bro, was good.
Man, I know Raquel wish Dakota was on her side this time, boy. Whew, man, she out here getting mollywop.
Yeah, man, she's taking that 3-on-1 beat down by, of course, Toxic Attraction. And if I may say so myself, the attraction is truly toxic.
I like it. Here come that knee. Bow.
I see Mandy Rose got the Sonya Deville dark hair, wet and wavy going on.
Man, it's something about the dark haired women in WWE right now, man, that I'm loving, man. I'm loving the attitude change, man. Man, Baszler, they finally letting her be who she needs to be. Man, you got Mandy. She done changed up her whole look now, and she doing what she need to do. Now she want that NXT. Yeah, time for some singles gold. No more of that.
Yo, look who we got, man. We got
Fro. Yo, Fro. What it do, baby? What it do? Yeah.
On,
hey, ladies and gentlemen, like I was saying, well, on our first, we tried this the first time, but we weren't hooked up to the Facebook account. So now that we are, yeah, brother had some training I had to go do. So that's why there was no pre-show. But here we are, man. We tried to do it live, but hey, timing it didn't work in our favor. But it is what it is. We are here to talk NXT. It is Women's Night. Franchise, my bro, man. Talk me into what happened, man. What I missed so far.
So, of course, man, to start off the show, we ended up having Elektra Lopez going one-on-one with B-Fab in a no DQ match, in which Lopez ended up picking up the victory, man. Too cold. This match started things off. We had Hit Row putting over the women of NXT. Of course, like you said already, this was Women's Night for NXT. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. B-Fab still green, second match in NXT, but she looked good. She took a mean bump on the steel chair, but Elektra Lopez, man, let's talk about her. Yo, she gonna be a problem when it comes to this. When it comes to this women's NXT title picture, I can see it moving up the ranks rather quickly now. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I don't want to besmirch the good name of one Miss Big Mommy Cool Raquel Gonzalez. But boy, Elektra Lopez is looking electrifying. Too cold. Too cold. I ain't gonna lie, man, little Gato Phantasma. I know Malcolm Bivens got the diamond mine, but I think Miss Lopez is a true diamond in the rough.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to check that out. I definitely want to see, what she's got. Yeah, the first match she had, it really wasn't nothing special, all like that. It wasn't it didn't was like it made me want to see more. It made me want to hit Row. Very promising. Fro, man, you are right. They are very promising. They need to continue to get their TV time. I like that Swerve. Before I get back into the women, I love that Swerve mention. Once again, who ain't defending their championship? Me. And it's like, yo, thank you. So at least acknowledging it. All right, you ain't defending it, but we got to get, we got to figure this thing out, man. And you mentioned Santos. I've been said it. Yo, I'm glad that they got a woman for El Delgado to go up against B-Fab and Hit Row, so you can have that. You had the men's tag team, you had the men's 6-man tag. It's only right that you get the ladies. All right, bet, cool, no problem. I need a North American Championship match, man. What's going? He said it. He ain't defending it. That means I expect him to be defending that championship real soon, and I need to see Escobar versus Swerve for that North American Championship, man. Flat out.
Man, mano y mano.
But I'm sorry. I wanted to get back, finish the women. But I definitely want to. I'm gonna definitely watch this match and see, how her and B-Fab handled each other, especially with, again, WWE doing another Extreme Rules type match on the TV show instead of doing it on the pay-per-view where these type of matches are supposed to matter more. But I digress. I just had to make sure I get that out of there, man, for you.
Well, it's funny you said that because Wade Barrett made sure to mention it several times that this was the fallout from Extreme Rules. So I think he's been reading social media, and I think he's been, much like us, wondering why there are more Extreme Rules matches after the pay-per-view than on the show. But as you said, we digress. But Tuco, man, I want to get to a
What's up, man? Tell me, come on, man. Tell me about the show, man. Come on, man. I want to get
to. So of course, tonight was also the honeymoon of Index, Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis. We had a segment, man, where we had the Garganos, of course, at the beach with Lumis and Hartwell. Of course, Lumis and Hartwell didn't know they were there, and bro, let me just say, if there was any question or doubt about NXT pushing the boundaries and blurring the lines with sexual innuendos, they sure found a gold mine in Indy Hartwell, Dexter Lumis, and the Garganos, man. Dude, so it started off with them at the beach. And of course, Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell, they doing their thing. And then you got Johnny Gargano. He want to get a better visual. So he got a damn shark fin on the top of his head. And he's swimming in the water. They thinking they about to get attacked by a shark. And they go to the room. And the whole segment, man, was just a damn mess. And then you got Gargano. He eventually would go into the room. They weren't there. Open up the suitcase. You got a sleeve full of fucking Trojan condoms. It was hilarious, bro. It was hilarious. And that was just the start of it. But we're gonna talk more about that later because there was something that happened a little later on.
Man, I told you, man, like this was funny. I told you, I don't know. Look, ever since that jump on in the restaurant, man, where Gargano walked up as the fake waiter. No, jump on. I'm like, dude, it's like, you know what, whatever it is, they are letting them ride, man. I let this ride. I you know what, man, as long as it stays funny, as long as there's something new to it, as long as there's nothing wrong. But the question I still bring up, man, is what's going to happen with Theory now that Theory's back. Like, I didn't see the show, so I don't know if there was any indication that he may be. But I said before the wedding, I feel like he would come back and break it up, being mad at Johnny going along with it. But he seemed to be cool with it for right now. But I still want to I still wonder what's going to happen with it. Like, as how much farther are you going to take it? Because, all right, you did the wedding, you got the honeymoon. What's going to come after this? So, that for me is going to be the big thing.
Bro, when you watch this show, man, I'm going to tell you, them segments themselves were absolutely the highlight of the night. Lars Rock says, who is the American Samoan who wrestles on NXT 2.0? Well, it's funny you mentioned that because next match we got Zion Quinn versus Oni Lorcan. Zion Quinn ended up picking up the victory, man. Tuco, this is a really good match. It was I guess you could say.
Remember him? He beat up some dude on the outside when he was walking up. I think it was the last show.
Yeah. They let the women in. Yeah. So, well, you know what? Matter of fact, let me pull him back up again, man. This guy's got a great build. Big.
Oh, he's Vince McMahon's wet dream. Oh, you know what Vince is doing when he saw him.
So let me tell you, man. So he had a match against who was it? Oni Lorcan. And we all know, man, Oni Lorcan ain't no chump, but he went in there in the ring and he made very, very, very quick work of Lorcan. I mean, when I say he looked convincing, this was a squash match, but it was a squash match that looked good. This guy, man, he's got it. If Vince wanted to bring a whole bunch of young guys in and build them from the ground up and have them be homegrown talent, you got guys like this, I'm all for it. Too cold, man. I know you didn't watch the show tonight yet. You got home a little late. But just knowing what you know of Zion Quinn and, of course, Oni Lorcan, what do you expect to see moving forward?
We know that the guys that we were just starting to get used to, Larkin and Birch and all of those guys, and the grizzled young veterans, and we were just getting used to them being the top guys on the show. And now that Vince is taking over, we're seeing them be the builders. They're the guys that's going to build this new talent coming up. As far as Vince bringing up the young talent, I could see him doing that, but I need him to bring a little ruthless aggression era with it. Just a little, not a whole lot, but I need you some of these guys, you can't try to make them all into something. You got to let them be who they are. Like at some point, you got to let some of these guys just this is who you are. You're gonna come up to the main roster. You are who you are. We're not gonna try to change you because this works. And I feel like when they get caught up in, okay, we got to make this guy this, but then we got to make this guy this, but then you end up making this guy similar to this other guy. So both guys they kind of cancel each other out, or one gets more popular than the other, but you're not really big on one than the other. So you kind of make it. I don't want them to be confused. I don't want to, because I don't trust the creative. I don't trust Vince to be able to take that many new people and make them all watchable. So if you take one at a time, I have a little more confidence than that. I'll have a little bit more confidence in that. But if Vince is just if he's gonna see a couple of these guys and he's just gonna bring them up, I feel bad for him. I really do. I feel bad for him because I don't know what the hell is gonna come from it.
Speaking of, man, speaking of a character, so we ended up, I accidentally skipped this guy, one of the newer guys in NXT, Jacy. He ended up cutting a promo, man, and he says, you know what? He's inclusive, and we can all solve conflicts with simple discussion and resolution. It says he's here to speak for a generation that isn't her. He's here to speak for the enlightened ones. Too cold, man. Now, as I'm looking at this gentleman's lovely mug on the screen here, I was looking at him in the ring. I'm like, damn, man, he looked very familiar. And then I started thinking, I started listening to his rhetoric. It's like if Glenn Beck had a baby with Kevin Owens, that'd be Jacy.
I told you that. I told you. I said, man, why he look like a reject Kevin Owens? It's like he look like a more studious Kevin Owens. Like I mean, it'd be interesting to see what kind of character he's going to be, especially with the way that he presents himself in the ring. I mean, especially last week, that was a little. It was off, but yet he spoke well. I give him that. Like he spoke well, and that's always a good thing. It's just always being able to say something that gravitates, that pulls the people in. He may get there. He's not there yet. He hasn't gotten to the point to pull the people in, but he continues. He could be good.
All right, so then next up, of course, we get the NXT Tag Team Champions. Them boys, MSK. They come out, they cut a promo, and they say, hey, look, man, it don't matter if you're the best. It don't matter if you're the new guys. Whoever wants some, come get some. Out comes, of course, our boys, the grizzled young veterans and soon-to-be new NXT Tag Team Champions, the GYV. They come out, but then, of course, man, your boy Carmelo Hayes, he come out with his boy Trick, because when Carmelo shoots, he don't miss. And then, of course, we got them boys, man. We got them brawlers. We got Briggs and Jensen. They come out, all 14s brawl. We go to commercial break, and that's that. Yo, I'm not going to lie. I like what they're setting up. It looks like, man, we may get a triple threat to see who's going to go 2-on-2 for them NXT Tag Team Championships. I know, man, you said we want to see GYV. We feel like they should be rightfully the next ones to dethrone the champions, whenever that may be. But then we also said, man, we want to see Briggs and Jensen. But let's talk about a team that is I would say probably not that's not our first choice. And that'd be Carmelo and Trick. Now, to me, I think Carmelo Hayes needs to use that for a one-on-one title shot. He kind of alluded that tonight. He may use it for a tag team opportunity.
I don't see him using it for a tag team opportunity. I could see him using it more for a singles run. I think right now, because they're not ready for him to really cash that in yet. You gotta, first and foremost, he's not doing it on the NXT champion. That we know that's not happening. You're not doing it on North American Championship because you already had that. You lost that match. Escobar's getting that. I'm already putting it out there. If it ain't Escobar and Swerve, it's gonna be a problem. And y'all know it's already after 10 o'clock. I can make it a problem. But them trying to introduce his friend, his brother or whatever, I think that's why it's a good thing to put him in a tag team match so we can see him, because we haven't seen him in a match. We've seen Carmelo. We've seen him. We watched him through the tournament. So we know what he can bring to the table. But I think, having his friend with him and to be able to challenge in the tag team division, just to kind of give it a little something, You know, the fact that you can play with the fact that he has this contract to challenge any championship. So that's you have your reason for why he's involved in it, and it kind of adds a little suspense to, well, maybe he'll do this. And then of course you got GYV. I mean, dude, you know me, man. Since they came on the scene, I've been a fan. So you know, they got that they got that old school way of tag team, and I love it. That old school heel tag team. Yeah, I mean, you just gotta love and appreciate it.
You know who GYV remind me of? They remind me of
FTR,
NXT's
man.
version.
They have FTR and other people.
Say it again.
I ain't gonna lie, but they were like that while FTR was around.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And of course, so it wasn't like they just they were always one of those teams like that. But they come from Britain, so you know they already got that British strong style in them, and it is what it is. I mean, you look at the ones they got in NXT now, Pete Dunne, Hollins, all these dudes, they'll break your jaw in seconds. But I want my boys GYV to hold those NXT Tag Team Championships. Like I've been saying, they either should have been the Dusty Classic winners, or they should have been Tag Team Champions. They ended up being neither. So I'm feeling some type of way about that. And then who was the other team that came out? The
Briggs and Jensen.
Okay, the two that fought in the bar. Yeah, that I kind of want to see them too. I want to see what those two, especially after watching that whole little segment, how they became a tag team and them beat each other up, dude getting poked in the eye and all that. I'm like, you know what? Okay, all right. It reminds me. It has a APA kind of feel to it, so I definitely want to see what they're about. But it's a lot. It's still a lot of new people you bring it on. I just hope you have enough TV time to give them time to flourish and to get better, because you're trying to keep NXT up with AEW, and the problem with that is AEW has so many other shows that these guys can still do the same thing on, where even if it is Dark, Elevation, or Rampage, it's still, you know, they still got more. They got a better opportunity than just waiting once a week to get on TV.
Absolutely, yeah, you're right. And then of course, next up, we end up getting a segment with Big Mommy Cool, NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez, and you know she started shooting on her match with Franky Monet. She put up for Franky Monet as a good competitor, but then of course in comes Toxic Attraction. They walk by Gigi, Dolin, Jacy Jane, but one person decides to stay, and that was Mandy Rose. And she says, "You know what, man? That title look good on you, but it'll look better on me," which would then lead into our next match of the night, our NXT Women's Championship. We got Gigi Dolin and Jacy Jane of Toxic Attraction going up against Zoey Stark and Io Shirai, the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. Stark and Shirai ended up picking up the victory. But yo, I'm not even gonna look, dude. I can't even tell a lie. This was actually a really, really good match. If you've never seen Jacy Jane or who did I say? And Gigi Dolin in action before, you definitely want to watch this match. Tuco, I will say this though, it does seem like the end for Io and Zoey. It's coming up soon, man. It seems like they're building to it. What are your thoughts coming up, man? What do you want to see from Io and Stark?
It's cool for Io, to be a Grand Slam Women's NXT Women's Champion, the Women's Championship, the Women's Tag Team Championships. That's cool. I was always okay with that. But the problem was they weren't on TV. There was a minute. For a while. They were actually off TV for like a month. It was like, shit, you kind of forgot they were even the champions or they were even around. But not being on TV enough, not getting enough interaction, not getting enough matches, it's kind of just, it's like, all right, you know what? If this is going to lead to them having a one-on-one, because Io's now gotten enough time to heal or whatever. Zell is good. They can have their one-on-one battle. You can move forward. If Io's finna get called up, mind you, we got a draft this Friday. We got to get ready for. Maybe she gets drafted up to Raw, SmackDown. We don't know. So, but obviously they didn't, because they're the champ. I mean, they could. They just have to relinquish the championships. You got called up to the main roster. You're no longer the tag team champions. But I don't know, man. Yeah, it's time for it to be over, and for them to build on their one-on-one. I've actually was kind of interested in them doing a one-on-one. I was surprised by them being a tag team and then winning the tag team championships. But yeah, Zoey versus Io, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Next up, man, we got a Braun Breaker promo. Yo,
Rick Steiner Jr.
This guy, hey, there is no if, ands, or buts about it, man. Hey, this guy was one word away from a Steiner Math promo, and I ain't mad at it. He pretty much said this, long story short. Hey, look, he know there's a lot of young, hungry guys here, but hey, if you want friends, go get a dog. I ain't with the bullshit. Tommaso Ciampa, I'm an impatient man. I'm ready. Let's go. And then, of course, you know, Mr. Daddy's home, the NXT champion himself, he wasn't going to take none of that bull jive. So he FaceTime all the way from his home gym to NXT. And he says, hey, I hear you loud and clear, but hey, young buck, man, let's not put you in the Hall of Fame just yet. Hold on, come, let me talk to you, man. Let an OG talk to you. It took me 908 days to get this title, this championship that I never lost. So if you want it, best believe I'm going to give it to you. And then next up, man, we get that boy Boa. Boy.
I'm not sure why he's still coming out. Why are they still doing it? I thought Vince would have got rid of it. I guess he like it.
I'm going to tell you why he's still coming out, because your boy Andre Chase, man, the guy that think he fucking Urban Meyer up here cussing the shit in the boardroom, Andre Chase got his ass whooped. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, Boa never deserved the victory. Boy, he looked good against Andre Chase because Andre Chase got the shit beat out of him. But I'm not even gonna talk about that, man. Just know that Andre Chase got his ass whooped. But
Boa,
hey, Boa beat his ass. But
this the same boy that lost the week before.
Hey, this is the same one. The same one. Hey, May Ying been getting up in his ass, man. He read that boy his fortunes and said, "You better get your shit together.
Get your shit straight." All right,
get your shit straight. But then, of course, so we have another part of Indy Hartwell, Dexter Lumis honeymoon, and this is with Johnny Gargano, man. So he sneaks into the room, and then of course you got Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis. They end up coming in the room right after him, so he hides in the closet. And then you get Johnny Gargano, man. So they insinuated them two having sex. You get Johnny Gargano sneaking out the closet, and Dexter Lumis gives him a thumbs up as you see the roll, the sleeve of condoms right there, letting Johnny know that they are A-OK and protected. Man, dude, I'm telling you, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch that whole segment. But then, of course, next up, we get the NXT.
Thank you for just thank you for the still pictures, man. I appreciate the nuances you add to the show, man, and just just seeing Dexter Lumis with his thumbs up, holding all them damn condoms, and Indy laying there like she's asleep when she's really ready to have fun. It really makes me really want to watch this. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you.
Hey, man, look, we got to add the vibes.
Oh, snap.
And then after this, man, of course, we get the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. We get that boy Roddy Strong going up against Grayson Waller. And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you the truth. I ain't going to lie to you. I can't even plead the fifth. You need to watch this match because that boy Grayson Waller, even though he lost, that guy got potential. Once again, Tuco, week 3 of NXT 2.0. I've really had time to sink my teeth into it. I've come up with 2 very, very honest thoughts. Mm-hmm. I miss the old black and gold brand. I do. I miss the presentation. I do. However, I would not change what they're doing right now. I know that's kind of a sore subject with a lot of people. I understand what had to have happened in the past to get us to where we are now. I'm not 100% proud of it, but as a fan of the product and as a fellow businessman, I can sit here and I can say this for the enjoyment of the product. I love the presentation. I love the visuals. And so far, I like the direction they're going. I thought it was a bunch of bullshit what they said about going younger, but it really seems like, honestly, if they keep this up, they can really, really, really embrace that vision that Vince McMahon has for the young guys really becoming homegrown talent. And then going to the main roster, Raw, SmackDown, and really becoming that next blockbuster or box office draw, which they don't have. I mean, you got Roman Reigns right now. You can sit there and say that, but honestly, after Roman Reigns, really, who else do you have? If you're looking for that next John Cena type, I think you honestly have a fair shot. What do you think of NXT 2.0 week 3?
This wouldn't be an issue if Vince was giving guys more opportunity like he is now. If Vince was having the give a damn that he's been showing in his company, even though he's not worried about the competition, but the fact that you gotta look at the fact that, you know what I'm saying, AEW doing what they do, man. All right, like they're selling out arenas, like they're 10 to 15,000 arenas that they're doing, 20,000. Yo, they selling them out. Like man, the people are coming out to watch them just wrestle. And if Vince was kind of doing this now, I'll take what you said about NXT, the old school, and what you got going now. I like the seating. I like the way that the seating looks.
Mm-hmm.
If that was in the black and gold, that would be awesome. I think that should have been. And that's all y'all could just go back to. I didn't mind the darkness, like, cause I didn't need to see the fans as long as you heard them. I mean, you could see the fans. It wasn't like you could never see the fans, right. And you don't need all the color and the brightness, man. There was nothing wrong with that. Like the darkness, it did have that indie feel, but it had a main event feel because because the lighting made you focus on the match.
Yeah.
I liked it that you had to focus on what they were doing. So that means these guys had to come in and be as ready as they could be. Now, I will say this, the fluctuation of younger talent, I do like that. There is too many, because there are still other guys that deserve an opportunity. What's going on, Mama?
Hey, Ma.
There's still other guys that deserve an opportunity to kind of have their shine. Like I said, the Grizzle Young Vex. What's going on, baby? And it like you. I want to see some of these guys get an opportunity to win, but I don't want to see them just get thrown to just being the jobbers just to build up all these young guys. But I see there is with the talent of now, there's a handful, man, that look ready. They're still a little green, but they've got enough to be ready now where they can learn on the fly. There's a difference between learning on the fly and it's going to take you a while. Those that's going to take a while, they're going to still be there. But those that learn on the fly, hell, they can get drafted by Friday, all right, like that, or Monday. That's the kind of talent they have there, and that's great. The problem is you giving a damn or having enough time to groom them to be as great as they can be. That's the thing, man. We've already watched you bury guys that were too old. That's because you took too long to give these dudes opportunity. Now, again, we got to take the words of Mr. Bischoff. Guys got to be in the right mindset to want to go out there and be the best. Some guys are comfortable in the positions that they are in. Ever since he said that, and even before that, but that kind of just confirms it, man. You always got to look at it a little 50-50. But when you know that there's somebody that really could have been a little bit bigger than what they are, I really think Angel Garza could have been bigger than what he is now. Like, yeah, it's good that now him and Carrillo are teaming up, which actually seems to be a really great thing that they're doing as a tag team. So Garza and Carrillo, because their cousins are teaming up, they're getting, like, people like both of them, but to see them be what they are now, it's like oh my God, finally they're doing something legit with them. So you don't want to see what happened to them happen to this new crop. The only reason I don't think you'll see that necessarily is because of the competition. So I like what I'm seeing in a way, and there's little things you can nitpick, but overall, the 3 weeks are now over. We just had the 3-week push, right? This was the 3rd week. Okay, we're gonna see what they do next week, and then we're gonna see what they do the week after that. I mean, one is NXT. It's one thing if it's Raw. I mean, Raw was good last night. Not gonna lie, I actually did watch. I watched it today. It was actually a pretty good show. predictable. I told you they were going to do that with the championship match. You were going to start the match just to end it in a DQ so you can have the match on later on, which is the one thing people don't like, but you added to it. You made it a steel cage match. But again, this could have been on a goddamn pay-per-view the night before. That would have made the pay-per-view even that much better if you'd had a few of those matches, because you actually had a nice card. They were just all the same damn matches.
Right.
But to finish this off, man, I truly just think that that we gotta wait to see what's gonna go happen, moving forward. The 3 weeks is on. They've made a few changes. People haven't really jumped and gravitated back to it yet, but people are liking some of the changes. Some people still hate it. We'll see what happens in a couple more weeks. I don't know when their next takeover is. I feel like one should be coming soon, but whenever it comes, we'll see how that we'll see how the new takeover, if that's what they're going to call them, we'll see how that turns out.
Next up after that, man, so we get that boy LA Knight. He cut a promo on Odyssey Jones, man, talking that big LA Knight shit. Of course, he doesn't realize that, much like Keith Lee was to Adam Cole, Odyssey Jones is right behind him. He didn't even know it. And then, of course, Odyssey Jones says, you know what, man, I might be the new kid on campus, but guess what? I promise I'm something like you never seen. And then you got that boy, man, Andre Chase, walking his ass in the frame just for no apparent reason, cussing, saying that his loss was bullshit. And LA Knight decided to use that distraction to beat the holy hell out of Odyssey Jones. So next week, we will have LA Knight versus that young upstart Odyssey Jones. And then, of course, we get a segment with all right, man. So I guess she the Wendy Williams of NXT. You got Lash Legend with her segment. That's that. Anyway.
Hey, Bear did that shit. I'm like, wait, Bear. I'm like, oh, goddamn. Now, come on, Wade. Come on, Wade. Not you.
Hey, did you see the way Vic Joseph and Beth Phoenix looked that way?
Hell yeah, man. That's what made me do that. I'm like, man, why they had to get on my brother like that?
Oh, man. And then, so we get the semi-main event, man, the co-main event. We get that boy, Ridge Holland versus Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly ended up winning via disqualification. Pete Dunne came out. And then, of course, that was followed up by a returning Von Wagner. Too cold. You ask, you shall receive. You wonder where your boy Von Wagner.
About damn time.
You was wondering where your boy Von Wagner was at, man. You put the smoke signal out, man. The NXT guys heard it. They returned the pigeon back to you. Hey, man, how did it feel seeing your boy Von Wagner back?
I mean, you put him in a match that we didn't think he should be in it, but you put him in it. He does pretty damn good, and then we don't even see him the next week. We didn't see him at all. It's one thing if he just promoted and didn't wrestle. Okay, cool. We got to see him. He got to talk about his experience, whatever. Blah, blah, skippy, blah, blah, skippy.
Right.
We didn't even see him at all. So that to me was like, dude, how are we not gonna get to talk to this dude after his first match on NXT? He's in a fatal 4-way for the NXT Championship against Pete Dunne, Pete Dunne, LA Knight, and Tommaso Ciampa. Like, dude, like, come on, man. Really? All right, we got to talk to this dude. But it was good to see him come out. Obviously, I mentioned it to you earlier. I think we're going to see more veterans. It's kind of going to go back to that old style of NXT where you had veterans mentoring younger talent, but instead of them playing games, they're actually just going to wrestle and just mentor them to actually be better in the business instead of the BS that they were doing. I mean, let's be honest. This isn't Vince McMahon's grand idea. Triple H was already doing this. It's just, I have the feeling that's how it's going to go now. We're going to see more of these younger guys get mentored by a few veterans here and there.
All right, man. Next up, we get the main event because it's women's night. God damn it. We got to start it off with the ladies. We got to end it with the ladies. We got the NXT Women's Championship. We got Big Mommy Cool Raquel Gonzalez, the NXT Women's Champion. Let me say it again. The NXT Women's Champion going up one-on-one against La Huerta Loca herself, that girl, formerly known as Taya Valkyrie, now known as Franky Monet. Yo, too cold, man. Taya Valkyrie actually didn't look too bad in this match, man. Now, granted, she took the loss. She did take the loss. So Raquel, Big Mommy Cool still doing big things, big shit popping, little shit stopping. But we would then see, after Franky Monet got shoo-shooed away, we would then see that girl, man, formerly known as the Golden Goddess. She came out now. I'm like, I don't know why. Could it be the brown hair? Could it be the dark hair? I don't know. Could it be the new look? Could it be the new trio? Could it be the name Toxic Attraction? Could I be attracted to it because it ain't good for me? Too cold.
That's why it's toxic attraction. That's why it's called toxic attraction, dude.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. But because I didn't know I gave a fuck to see this match until I seen the beat down and then the stare down. Now, I'm not saying that Mandy Rose is going to be the one to dethrone Raquel Gonzalez, but
No. If Triple H was running this, no. But Vince is now running this. You bet your ass you're going to see those. Don't you dare pretend like you don't see this coming. You know damn well. Fro, where you at? You still on here, man? You let this dude know, man. He knows goddamn well, man. And I don't use Lord Vain name in vain, but you know damn well, man, that Vince, and even though the Lord just helped Roman Reigns beat Finn Balor, Mandy Rose has got a good shot at beating Raquel Gonzalez for that NXT Women's Championship. You know it. She's mad.
Yeah, you right. Come
on now. Yeah, but
for the sake of the realistic wrestling thinkers.
Right. No, you can't never leave God out of the situation, baby.
He said, "Through God, all things are possible."
Right, man. Hey, man, look at Roman. He had to give it up to him on Sunday night, man. Like, ooh, man, good looking out, because this demon was kicking my ass. But I digress. But no, I like beatdown. You got to make a threat for Raquel. Kai lost. We haven't seen her. Like I said, the change has begun in NXT 2.0. So yeah, you gotta Mandy, man, she's Vince's favorite. Oh, Vince liked her on the main roster, but things just didn't always work out the way they necessarily wanted them to. But being in NXT, she's gotten that Finn Balor, that Fandango kind of restart, man, where you get down there and you get to be you, and you get to enjoy what you're doing, and you get to make yourself better. And look, Mandy being kind of this heartless bitch, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that's where she's going to. That's what she's finna be. She's finna be that type of female where she wants that championship, and she's gonna do whatever, however, to whoever to beat down, and she's got her two girls to back her up, because she's gonna try to push for them to be the tag team champ. So you got the women's trios going on. So her being the NXT Women's Champion, them being the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, I can see that. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna put that out there. I can see that happening. So yeah, why not? Toxic Attraction. Right now, they the hottest three women in NXT right now, and they just started really doing something.
Well, too cold.
What's up, man?
That will finish the show.
Man, you know what, man? That's a good 38 minutes, man, for a brother that didn't even watch an hour of the show.
This is my second IPA.
Yeah, you don't need no more.
I done seen B-Fab. How you doing? I done seen Elektra Lopez. How you doing? I done seen Big Mommy Cool, Raquel Gonzalez, Braun Strowman, Adam Scherr. No disrespect. How you doing? I done seen Gigi Dolin. How you doing? I done seen Jacy Jane. Hello. I done seen Mandy Rose.
Hey, just a simple hello.
I done seen Mandy Rose. How you doing? Yo.
Nah.
I done seen Indy Hartwell running on the beach in the water. How you doing? Yeah. Now I got to go to the bakery. I got some Dunkin' Donuts waiting on.
My man got some glazing to do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that is your NXT review, man. But tomorrow,
Jungle Boy versus Adam Cole.
tomorrow, because tomorrow is Wednesday, and you know what that means. So with that being said, man, I am too cold. That is the franchise, man. We will see y'all tomorrow for Dynamite, because you know it's going to be good. We got that boy Jungle Boy going up against Adam Cole. We got that boy Sammy Guevara going up against that boy Miro for the TNT Championship. That's going to be kind of crazy. And there's some other stuff going on because it's just AEW and it's just what they do. We the GOW. We'll see y'all later.